Listening. Welcome to another episode of A Breath of Fresh Football. Logan, how you doing?
I'm great, sir. How about
Oh,
yourself?
I'm good. Me and Logan were talking about a little bit before we got on air, but man, it's almost been a month since we recorded together. We
Dude,
apologize,
we
but we
we
appreciate those who listen.
we really we're really dropping the ball, guys, and we're super busy, but we're gonna get on this. We're gonna get on this more.
Yeah.
So honestly, starting off, we talked about a little bit of free agency last week. Kyle, any thoughts on some free agents that have been signed? AJ Green to the Cardinals. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I really like it. Well, I'm hoping he regains a little bit. He hasn't been the same the last couple of years because of injuries. But I do think he's always been a number one receiver in Cincinnati. Maybe coming to Arizona where he'll be the number two receiver. Hopkins is going to draw, the double coverage. Maybe A.J. Green's going to squeeze in on the one-on-ones, burn some guys, and maybe we'll find the end zone.
Here's my thing, though. Do you think he's going to be a number 2 or 3? Do you think they're going to – because Larry Fitzgerald's still up in the air,
I think
dude.
Larry's going to retire. There's a lot of rumors going around that he's not listening to any other team's offers. If he comes back, it'll be Arizona, of course. But it's sounding like he's going to retire. And we've talked about it before. I think it's best. As much as I would totally love to have Hopkins and Larry and AJ all in the same wide receiver room. That would just be phenomenal. But I think,
Could you imagine that wide receiver room, though, in like
oh
2014?
yeah, man, that would have been. Man, I kind of want to get on Madden and make it a possibility.
Another big one is the Ravens signed Sammy
Yeah, what
Watkins.
was your thoughts on that?
Uh, honestly, so our offensive coordinator was his offensive coordinator back in Buffalo when his first 2 seasons when Sammy Watkins was pretty good. So honestly, it could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. It's a 1 year, $8 million. I think it's 1 year, $8 million. So I mean, we're not out much,
Yeah,
honestly.
I think ultimately, like Sammy has been hit and miss the last couple of years, but I do think he's better than what the Ravens have right now. So
Well, in the Super Bowl against the 49ers, he was the Chiefs'
yeah,
offense.
and that was only 2 years ago.
So, I mean, I'll take it. It's a hit and
Yeah.
miss.
So not only going back to Arizona right now, not only did Arizona sign AJ Green, but they traded for a center in Rodney Hudson with the Raiders.
I completely forgot
Yeah,
about that, dude.
I really like how Arizona is attacking our, improving our line, and I think it's a great move. We needed it. We ended up trading our center we had last year to Minnesota. That was Mason Cole. He was a draft pick a couple of years ago. Unfortunately, he just had too many penalties, too many false starts, and that you don't want that when you're driving down the field. The last thing you want is a 5 yards, 10 yards for a false start. 5 yards.
5.
I mean, when you're driving down the field and then that happens, that just kills the drive.
Yeah, I can agree with that. But I don't know how he's been the last few seasons. But Rodney Hudson, 3-4 years ago, was the top center in the league.
I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, I do still think, based on what I was saying about Mason Cole, I mean he's gonna be an upgrade from Mason Cole. So, and maybe he's not an all-star, but he's still gonna make our line better, I think.
Oh yeah, and that's
Yeah.
honestly what you got to do.
All right. The next little tweet I sent you. Curtis Samuel signed with Washington. What was your thoughts on that signing?
I was really actually hoping the Ravens were going to pick up Curtis Samuel.
Yeah,
Curtis Samuel is very underrated.
And I do think he landed in a good spot. He's reuniting with Ron Rivera. It seems like Ron Rivera is bringing in a lot of guys that he coached back in Carolina. One thing I am very surprised about is that Washington never brought in Cam Newton. I know he ended up re-signing with the Patriots. We talked about that a couple episodes ago, but I am kind of surprised because, I mean, they ended up bringing Ryan Fitzpatrick in that we talked about, but I'm kind of surprised they haven't brought in Cam Newton.
Fitz magic, baby. What? And they also have that quarterback. Oh goodness, I can't remember his name, but in the playoffs, he was looking pretty good in the playoffs.
It's gonna be him and Ryan Fitzpatrick, and I think they even still have Kyle Allen, that's coming off the broken ankle, that could fight for. He's started a couple games the last couple years, so I'm sure it's gonna be a nice QB battle out there. I wouldn't be surprised if they took a flyer on some guy in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, maybe 7th round. So,
yeah. Speaking of Washington football team quarterbacks, are you surprised that Alex Smith is still out there?
I think a lot of teams. I mean, he's a hit away from being done, and I do think he's probably asking for more money than what teams are wanting to give him. I'm honestly not surprised, I don't think. I think he's good leadership, but I think at the same time, the teams are looking at it and yeah, he was a great story last year, but, I mean, one hit away and his leg could be gone. I mean...
Dude, I don't know, man. I thought he was going to be pretty good last season.
Here's a question for you. Do you want to be that team that signs him and then he gets hit and his legs are gone forever and his career's over?
I mean, but also you don't know. His leg was looking pretty good last year.
I did think he was decent last year. He wasn't great. He only threw 6 TDs and 8 interceptions, so...
But also it was between him and
Haskins.
I
mean, Haskins. But, yeah, so let's go back to Arizona. Arizona made another signing. We finally have a kicker in Matt Prater. What was your thoughts on that?
Matt Prater's not a bad kicker at all, actually.
Yeah, I was...
I think he kick for the Lions for several years?
He was with the Broncos before that. I think he.
That's a good signing on you guys' part.
He had a bit of a down season last year, but based on what we've had at the kicking position the last couple of years, he's definitely an upgrade for it. So I'm really happy about that.
And the Ravens also re-signed Anthony Levain, which I know everyone out there is like, who is that? Who is that? He is a 10-year veteran for the Ravens. This will be his 10th year back, and he's a big special teams guy for him. He's a very big special teams guy. They put him out there sometimes at slot corner, just depends. So that was a good one. Good re-signing for them. Also, we'll come back to Prater here in a minute. Well, there's some big trades that happen here, Kyle. Some big trades. Let's talk about the Dolphins trade.
Yeah, I have to get a little. You have to refresh me a little bit on that.
They traded away the 3rd pick.
Yeah, I'm trying to scroll to find that real quick.
To the 49ers for their 12th, for the 12th pick.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So yes, they traded the 3rd pick away for the 6th pick or 12th pick. Sorry, to the 49ers.
Yep.
And they got a future first, a second.
Let's see. The Dolphins and 49ers made a draft trade. San Francisco gets
for the 12th pick, a 2022 third round pick, and a first round pick in 2022. And the 49ers receive the third overall pick, and they got something else. I think it was like a 7th rounder.
Yeah.
And then the Dolphins turn around and trade for the 6th pick.
Yeah.
And they didn't give up a first rounder.
Yeah. I really thought the Eagles trading down was interesting because they need a wide receiver so bad. And what I believe I heard, the reason why they traded down was they wanted Jamar Chase. And they're getting information. They believe that the Bengals will not pass on Jamar Chase. So they thought there was no way they would be able to get him. So they're trading down.
I think they do.
They're still going to either land Kyle Pitts or Jalen Waddle or Devontae Smith. So I think trading down, getting some more picks was probably the good thing for them.
The thing with the Bengals, though, is you got to protect your future star quarterback and Joe Burrow, man.
That's the big debate right now, is because I know Joe Burrow's he's been heavily trying to talk the Bengals into picking Jamar Chase, but at the same time, if you're the Bengals and you have how do you say his name? Penal. Yeah. If he's right there, you got to take him, especially after Joe Burrow tore his ACL.
He is the best lineman they've had in the draft, I think, and they said in the last 10 years.
Is that even better than Quinn Nelson? Dang.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. He's supposed to be like the next big thing. So now my thing is the Dolphins traded back up to the 6th pick. Who do you think they're going to take? You got Jamar Chase.
Oh, Dolphins? That's a good question right there. I do think if the Bengals do take the lineman from Oregon, I do think Jamar Chase goes at 6. It's either Chase or Devontae Smith. And personally,
I don't think they go for Devontae Smith.
I think Jamar Chase is probably the guy they go. Even though I do think Devontae Smith would have, connections with Tua from Alabama, but
so I know this is a stretch here. This is a stretch. But I know they have Mike Gesicki. But Kyle Pitts, man, that's another once-in-a-lifetime prospect coming out.
Yeah, I do think, that is a possibility. But I know Kyle Pitts is more considered a receiver than a tight end. But I still just get that iffy feeling of taking a tight end in the top 10. So I don't know.
Well, it worked out with TJ Hawkinson. It kind of worked out with Eric Ebron a little bit. Not for the Lions, but for the Colts.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, tight ends they come and go easily. Remember, Julius Thomas used to be the best tight end in the world. And where's he been the last couple of years?
Dude, whatever happened to him? I think he went to the Jaguars.
Yep, that's exactly what happened when you got paired up with Blake Bortles.
But so on to another big trade, though. How about the Panthers trading for Sam Darnold and just gave away pretty much a second-round pick?
I was really shocked about it.
So is this confirmed that Zach Wilson will be the second QB off the board?
I kind of thought they weren't gonna trade Sam Darnold, because, it took them so long to do it. But him going, I was really shocked about Carolina doing it. But I do think, Carolina seems like they're all bought in him because they're letting Teddy Bridgewater seek his own trade. So if he can find a trade partner and a deal, they'll get it done or whatever. I was not expecting him to go to Carolina, but good for them if they believe in him. I do think he's definitely got better weapons there than he had.
And you're not playing for the Jets, but the Panthers also picked up his 5th-year option, and that's $18.8 million fully guaranteed.
But going back to your question, Sam or Zach Wilson going second overall. I don't know with the QBs what teams value who. Every year you always got a team that takes someone so much higher. Mitchell Trubisky, Daniel Jones. There's probably been tons of others that just shoot up the boards, So, with it right now, there could be 4 quarterbacks going in the top 5, depending what Atlanta does at 4. So, I don't know.
Well, do you think Mac Jones will be top 5 or Trey Lance? I think Mac Jones is pretty overrated. Dude, name one Alabama quarterback that's ever been good.
Well, you can, but the thing is, you're comparing apples to oranges. Every QB is different. It's like, with Justin Fields coming out, everyone's like, oh, when's the last Ohio State quarterback ever worked out? The thing is, all these quarterbacks are different. They played for different coaches. They played in different systems. Like, yeah, you can say, oh, they went to the same school, but you can't really compare quarterbacks from the same school unless those quarterbacks played for the same coach in the same system.
It's Nick Saban. Mac Jones played for Nick Saban again.
Yeah, but him and Tua, they played together, but I don't know. Mac Jones is that old school, pocket passer, and some teams gonna like it. I don't know how his pro day is gonna affect his draft stock. Hopefully he has a better combine than he did pro day, because I do think he was missing a lot of receivers at his pro day.
Well, I got 2 hot takes here for you, and these are big hot takes. Okay. Out of every quarterback in this draft, Trey Lance will have the best.
Man, that is a hot take.
And the other one, Trevor Lawrence turns the Jaguars around and leads them to the playoff year 1.
Year 1? I don't know, man. I don't know if that's going to happen. The Jags really haven't done anything. So, I don't know.
I think they're going to have a very good draft. Hot take here. Hot take. But I think when it's all said and done, I think Trevor Lawrence will have a good couple years. But I think Trey Lance is the quarterback in this draft. And I don't know where he's going to go, to be honest with you.
There. Okay, so let's jump back into some free agency. So we talked about how the Chiefs last time they released a couple linemen, and we also talked about how Kyle Long came out of retirement. Well, Kyle Long ended up signing with the Chiefs. So what was your thoughts on that?
Dude, it's like they knew this was going to happen.
Yeah. Hopefully
like
he's still in football shape, and hopefully he does well in Kansas City. He's definitely surrounded by a good team, so hopefully he does good. But, man, we are talking about so much about Arizona, and we have a couple more things to talk about. Patrick Peterson leaving the Arizona Cardinals on a 1-year, $10 million to the Vikings.
Dude, how does that feel?
Personally, I probably wouldn't have paid him $10 million. And I was listening to a podcast, of course, when this happened about a month ago. And they were like, Arizona probably offered him probably 1 year, 6 million, maybe 7 million. And he took a 1 year, 10 million. Does that 3 million really matter?
Yeah, but think about it. You got to move everything. You're probably gonna buy a new
Exactly.
house.
And he was saying he wanted to be an Arizona Cardinal, and then he just left for maybe $3 million more than what we were offering. I mean, I hope it works out for him, but I don't know what's gonna happen, but I do think I like Malcolm.
But also,
Speaking of more signings, Arizona did sign Malcolm Butler, and I do.
oh
Well,
goodness, what has Malcolm Butler done since the Super Bowl?
yeah. Oh, I have my
Nothing.
friend George. He was talking about it. Malcolm Butler was really solid. He doesn't give up a lot of I think touchdowns or whatever. So I still think he's a solid corner. So I did like.
Okay, so who do you think's gonna have a better season this year? Do you think Patrick Peterson or Malcolm Butler?
I'm gonna say Malcolm Butler.
No, bro. I gotta go with my boy Pat Pete, dude. I've always liked Pat Pete. Always a good corner,
Yeah.
great returner.
But speaking of another Arizona, I don't know if we talked about this. I feel like we did, but maybe not. But Hasson Reddick signed with the Panthers. I do think we probably touched upon that last time.
I think so. But honestly, that wasn't a big loss for you guys. Let's just move on from that one. He was not very good for you
Yeah,
guys.
We're gonna move on. A good year, but we got JJ Watt. So, speaking of wide receivers, JuJu Smith-Schuster back to the. I think we talked about this last time. Steelers.
Well, we'll just do a hot take on it. So, on a 1 year, $8 million deal, the Steelers, and I was going to talk to Seth about this. He was supposed to join us. The Steelers give up their entire team just to bring him back. And the Ravens offered him a 1 year, $9 million deal. And honestly, I get it. I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, why? And like I say, I'm a Ravens fan, huge Ravens fan. But why do you want to go to a team why does a wide receiver want to go to a team that all they do is pass? I don't blame them.
All they
You're
do
gonna
is
block
run,
the entire
game.
I'm sorry. Yes, when all they do is run. I'm sorry, but you're gonna block 90% of the game. But I don't know. Maybe they're gonna change things up this year.
Yeah,
I don't
who knows?
know.
But more Arizona, man. There's so much Arizona happening. The Raiders are signing They signed former Cardinal running back Kenyan Drake. I don't know if I said that right, but what was your thoughts on Drake going out to Las Vegas?
That sucks for me because usually I always pick up Josh Jacobs in my fantasy league, and usually sneak him in at the second or third round. Big loss for me this year. Josh Jacobs is going to lose a lot of carries for that, I think. But I think they're going to use more of Kenyan Drake as a third down back, throw the ball a little bit and stuff.
I don't. Yeah, I guess he'll lose some carries, but John Gruden's out there, and I know he hasn't had the greatest of seasons, but I think he is building some out there. So I do think he's willing to bring anyone in. Like he's just brings.
And he's got a good quarterback.
Yeah. I think
Derek Carr's not a bad quarterback.
I think Derek Carr, and he's still got Marcus Mariota back there. So, but speaking of quarterback, former Bears quarterback Mitchell Trubisky signed with the Buffalo Bills.
Signed with the Bills.
Yeah, to the backup to Josh Allen.
He'll never start a game again in his life, I bet.
Well, I'm sure. I think it's probably only a 1 year deal. I'm sure he's gonna he probably won't be there long. But I do think Mitchell Trubisky is a mobile quarterback, and I do think that's why they brought him in to be the backup to Josh Allen. is because if Josh Allen does get hurt, because it happens. I mean, I do think Mitchell Trubisky could come in, and I do think the weapons there are better than what he's had in Chicago. So, maybe he could strive out there if he got the chance. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Maybe, but also, man, that dude has had one good year, and he somehow made it to the Pro Bowl in that 1 year because
he
wasn't
did make
that
the Pro
good.
Bowl that year. Yeah,
he did. Going back to the Jets really quick. Fun little fact about the Jets. The Jets have 21 picks in the next 2 drafts, and none of them are 7th rounders.
That is absolutely crazy.
This year, the 2021, they have the number 2, 23, 34, 66, 86, 107, 146, 154, 186, and 226.
That is
and then next year,
definitely a recipe to turn around a franchise. But again, when you have a lot of opportunities to swing the bat, there's a lot of opportunities to swing and miss. And it's the Jets that we're talking about.
Oh, it gets better. In 2022, they have 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, a third, a fourth, 2 fifth-round picks, and 3 sixth-round picks. Now, here's the thing. If you have Adam Gase, though, you're going to screw up all those picks.
Adam Gase isn't there anymore.
That's right. They did fire him. That's right. Oh, my goodness. I totally forgot about that. So, maybe they'll get a couple home
hopefully.
runs.
All right. We're jumping into something else that happened. Did you see the broadcasting rights, the agreement, everything that happened with there?
I did not.
Yeah, so ESPN, so there's that deal with ESPN. So ESPN Plus will stream one exclusive national game each year starting in the 2022 NFL season. That kind of sucks because I don't have ESPN Plus. So that means one game a year, one national game, it says, I won't be able to watch because I don't have ESPN Plus. But starting in 2023, ESPN will broadcast a wild card game and a division playoff game. So that means ESPN's starting to get into the playoff games. And flex scheduling will be added to Monday Night Football for Week 12 and beyond. So if there's a game that's highly,
speaking
like a big division game, or say you have the Chiefs going against the Buccaneers, or whatever it may be, they have the opportunity to flex games now. That used to be only CBS, I believe, and maybe NBC. So,
speaking,
and also Amazon Prime is getting exclusive rights to Thursday Night Football beginning in 2023. That kind of sucks because that means I won't be able to watch Thursday Night Football anymore because Amazon Prime's going to start showing those games instead of, I believe it was Fox, and I don't know if it'll still show on NFL Network or not, but if it's only Amazon Prime, then I won't be able to watch Thursday Night Football, which kind of sucks.
Well, another big thing that has happened is instead of 4 preseason games, they're going to have 3 now. And in the regular season, it is 17 games.
Yeah, I do.
Anymore.
As much, of course, I love watching football. And I'm like, awesome, that's another week of watching and everything of games that matter. But I also get it to a player's view. That's another week they can get hurt. But at the same time, it's also another week they can get paid. But that also means that instead of getting paid over 16 weeks, you're getting paid over 17 weeks. So that means your pay, depending on your contract, is probably going to be a little bit lower than it was in previous years.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, again, I'm like you. I'm excited to watch another football game. Preseason is not fun to watch. Everyone knows that. Another bigger thing that's happened is Nike is suspending their endorsement deal with Deshaun
Oh
Watson.
yeah, that was today. Yeah, or today or yesterday. We talked about it last time, but man, I just really hope these allegations are wrong because Deshaun Watson just seems
Well,
like a good
there's
guy. And if all this is
there's things
what
though that the team's masseuse and stuff said he's very professional during massages.
that's the weirdest part
And
about this is, the people are suing. They got like 20 people to say that he's sexually harassed them. And then Deshaun Watson and his attorney came back and got 19 people to say how professional he is. No, the real question is who has 40 masseuses?
fair enough. Fair enough. Well, my personal opinion, and if anyone listening, I'm not trying to be a bad person or anything. I'm just saying how the real world can be. It could also be people mad that he's wants to leave Houston. Honestly, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but there are diehard football fans out there that'll do anything. So I feel like there's some people are saying it, so their teams will be like, well, we don't want him, so then he'll have to stay in Houston and
Yeah.
play. I could be wrong. I don't know, but that's my opinion because it seems to be weird. It came out when he said, "I want to be traded."
But like I said, I just hope all this is wrong. But if it is true,
if it's true, he should
exactly.
just be fired.
All right, so let's jump into some other free agency news. I don't know if we talked about it, but Andy Dalton went to the Bears, and he was told that he's the starting quarterback. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh goodness, what is the coach's name for the Bears? Matt Nagy. He must look really dumb right now. You trade for Nick Foles, and you're paying his big old contract, and then you sign Andy Dalton too. I'm pretty sure they signed him to
It's
a
only
big
1 year,
contract too, if I'm not
million.
mistaken. Still, and I mean Nick Foles is making, I think, 30, isn't he?
Not per season.
He's making a lot.
He's
I
making
don't know
a lot right numbers.
now. But you're paying you're paying this guy, and why? Why Andy Dalton? He wasn't that good. They need to draft one. They need to do something. Throw draft picks there.
The only problem is if they draft someone. Obviously Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy, they're going year to year right now. Because if it doesn't work out this year, they're gone. But the thing is, if you do draft someone, then you're bringing a new regimen in with a quarterback that they didn't draft. And that's what happened with Mitchell Trubisky. He was drafted under Fox, and I think it was Ryan Pace that was still there. So it was Pace and Fox, and then Fox got fired, and he brought in Matt Nagy. And whether Matt Nagy liked Mitchell Trubisky or whatever that relationship was, it would just be happening again. But that in this case, it may be a new GM and a new coach. So the Bears are a mess, and
maybe
it doesn't look like it's getting any better.
Another quick question. Going back to Arizona a little bit, didn't they sign Colt McCoy as a backup?
I am I like that deal. I do think Colt McCoy is a good veteran backup. I think he'll be able to help Kyler Murray because before, all the other backups that Kyler's had was Brett Hundley and Chris Schuvler or whatever that his last name is. And both of them were really young. I mean, yeah, sure, Brett was in the league. He's been in the league for, 5-6 years maybe, but he's still not really that veteran guy. So I do think Colt McCoy does bring some different to Arizona. But again, with all backups, you just hope to God that Kyler Murray doesn't get hurt because, Colt McCoy's not bad. He won the Giants a game last year, but he's not someone you want starting week in and week out.
Listeners, can we just talk about when he said they won them a game? Not multiple, a game?
Yeah. But don't be hating on the funniest part is, for those who are college football fans, a Texas Longhorn is backing up an Oklahoma Sooner. Oh God. Great. Yeah, one of the biggest rivalries in college football, and they're gonna be backing each other up. So jumping into other free agent news, Kenny Galliday signed a big contract with the New York Giants.
Whoa. We're not talking about this one, okay? All right. I was praying to the football gods that the Ravens would pick up Kenny Galliday. No, Sammy Watkins ain't going to be bad. But it's Kenny Galliday. The dude's a stud. I was hoping. And then he signed with the Giants. Out of everyone, the Giants. Why?
I don't know. Maybe he wants to catch passes from Daniel Jones, man.
No one wants to catch passes from Daniel Jones.
Hey, Daniel Jones. Hey, at least he's getting his wide receivers together right now in Arizona and throwing passes to him. He's being a leader. That's all you can ask right now.
Look, bro. But it's Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones doesn't even want to be on the same team as Daniel Jones.
Oh, God. Well, Daniel Jones, if you're listening to this podcast, I apologize.
Daniel Jones, if you're listening to this podcast, I would be shocked, but I'm not sorry, okay? You're pretty overrated,
that's almost like jumping into some little baseball news. But, that's kind of... No. This has a point to it. Okay, so it's funny that you say that. It was like, if Daniel Jones is listening to this, it'd kind of be like that situation where so Nicholas Castellanos is the Reds outfielder. He slid into home, so he got hit by the pitch, and then he slid into home. He eventually got around the bases, slid into home plate, and he flexed over the pitcher that hit him. And then Yair Molina came after him or whatever, because he was pissed off that he flexed on his pitcher or whatever. And Nicholas Castellanos ended up saying, he was like, I have so much respect for Yair Molina that he could have punched me in the face and I would have still asked for his autograph.
Honestly, if Daniel Jones listened to this and called me, he's like, bro, we need to talk. I'd be like, I'm sorry, Mr. Jones. Because first off, this dude has Saquon Barkley back him up. Okay, Saquon Barkley could beat me any day. He's got an entire offensive line. I would be screwed. So, Daniel Jones, actually, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry. You're a great quarterback. If you're not listening to it, you suck.
All right. Jumping into some Broncos news, they signed Kyle Fuller, which was the Bears cornerback, to a 1-year, $9.5 million.
Dude, yeah, Kyle Fuller was on the market, like 5 minutes?
You are exactly right. He got released, and Vic Fangio or whatever, Fangio, must have been up all in his DMs like, hey, we got your contract already worked out. Just sign it.
Yeah, bro. Here's a blank check. Take it.
I think it's a good signing by them. He's going back to.
Oh yeah, I think it's one of the best. I think it's one of the best signings
of free agency right
there. Name a sign that's been better than that, though. That's a good signing because they didn't pay him that much either.
Kind of former Ravens news. What's your thoughts on the Eagles signing Joe Flacco?
First off, anybody that started watching football after 2014 know the name Joe Flacco at all.
Hey, he won the Ravens the Super Bowl.
No. So he did, but also you had that stellar defense. Okay, you had Ray Rice, Anquan Bolden, Torrey Smith, Dennis Pitta. Dennis Pitta had one good year and it happened to be the Super Bowl year. But I mean, I like Joe Flacco. He was my quarterback. He won me a Super Bowl. Always place in my heart. But he needs to retire, man. I mean, This would be his 14th year in the league, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it'd be his 13th. 13th. I mean, bro, just give
Hey,
up.
at least he got
You're
a
done.
job.
You're done. Oh yeah, he's a better
And
quarterback than I am for
I
sure.
don't know. Jalen Hurts showed some flashes last year, but I don't know, man. Joe Flacco could, maybe compete for a spot there. So
Nope, because I tell you what they're gonna do with the 12th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. The Philadelphia Eagles take either Mac Jones, Trey Lance.
as if they're even there by then. I don't know with the way the
One of them
draft
will be
talks
there
going.
for sure.
Justin Fields might be there at 12.
Oh, Justin Fields there. They're taking him. The thing with the Eagles is they're very high on QBs. So I mean, if they need to, they'll draft a QB in the first round year after year after year if need be. They don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Carson Wentz was good. I know he's injury prone, but you just let him go for Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Dude, and people say Lamar's relies on his leg too much. Jalen Hurts relies on his legs way
That
too
was
much.
my biggest thing when he was in college and even playing for Alabama. Like, okay, so after Jalen Hurts' first year, I was like, man, I think he's going to be a good QB. But after that second year, I was like, man, he is an awful passer. And yeah, the Eagles don't have any receivers, so we can't really see whether his passing's improved since his Alabama days.
Yeah, they do. They have the local grocery bag at Walmart as a
I
as
mean,
a wide receiver
dude,
now.
I think I could go out there and probably catch more passes than their receivers right now. But
And for those of you listening, Kyle cannot catch a pass.
Dude, oh my God. Speaking of football, the other day, so this last week, we were testing, and then we also had spring break or whatever that ended up happening at the end of the week. And so we tested in the morning and we tested in the afternoon. So we had to take, I had to teach my class, my homeroom. I had to teach PE. So we went outside one day and we were playing football, and man, you would have thought I was freaking Patrick Mahomes out there. I was throwing some cannons out there. I was throwing touchdown passes. So I was playing full quarterback for both teams. And man, I was throwing touchdowns left and right.
For those of you listening, Kyle
I
actually
teach
teaches second
sixth
graders.
Yeah,
that doesn't
but
help your case,
man,
buddy.
I would no, but dude, these kids got good hands, man. I was just throwing it up there, and they were going up there and bringing it down. I was like, man, these are sixth graders, and they're doing this. I was like, I do not remember this happening when I was in
Kyle,
sixth grade.
buddy. Our listeners don't want to listen about your school day. They're here to listen about football. All right, so going on to our last segment, we're getting ready to wrap things up. I'm going to talk about some available free agents. And Kyle, we're going to talk about them. We're going to see, hey, are you surprised that they're still there, or where do you think they're going to go? So we talked mostly about quarterbacks. The only big one's Alex Smith. Running backs, James Conner. First off, Kyle, are you surprised that he's still not signed?
Yeah. The injuries, I get that. But honestly, at this point, if you're still a free agent, you're honestly just waiting until the draft is over, because whatever teams do not get in the draft, they'll fill up with the remaining free agents. So I think he's probably gonna wait out until after the draft.
I'm surprised he's still there too, to be honest with you. I'm very surprised. Where do you think he's going to end up?
Today, Junior.
Hey, where do you think he will end up, Kyle?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's probably gonna wait until after the draft, and who knows who does what. Arizona needs a running back, And there was actually rumors out there. I don't know if you heard this, but there was apparently some interest between Arizona and Todd Gurley, which
that was the next person we're going to talk about. So Todd Gurley is still out there. Now, Todd Gurley hasn't been the same since.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Since
he hasn't been the
19?
same, but I do think, I don't know. I do think he could be a good complementary back to Chase Edmonds, which is Arizona's running back right now. Chase Edmonds is kind of that receiving back. And I do think if you pair him with, Todd Gurley, I do think there's something there maybe. But at the same time, I don't know how much he's asking for. But obviously, Todd Gurley isn't the best anymore. But,
I feel like at this point, though, if you're a free agent and you're demanding so much money, and at this point you're not getting signed, I'll take anything.
I totally agree with what you're saying. You almost have to take whatever you get. So it'll be interesting to see where he ends up landing. But like I said, I do think a lot of the free agents are waiting because the draft is only 3-4 weeks away.
It is. So the last running back we're going to talk about, and this one hits home because this is one of me and Kyle's favorite players in Madden we've ever played with. Adrian Peterson is still a free agent.
I do think
Now,
his time is probably up, but he's a good veteran.
Here's the thing: do you think
for whatever team brings him in?
Oh yeah. Do you think though do you think he's just like, you know what, I'm gonna hang him up, I'm done?
I don't think he's necessarily done yet. I do think, he's been jumping around the last couple of years. Washington, Arizona for a brief stint. The Lions. Was he? I don't even know who else he's been with. But,
he was with the Cardinals for a little bit,
I
dude.
said the Cardinals.
Cardinals, Lions, Redskins, Saints. He was with Saints.
Yeah, I remember. He was with the Saints before Arizona because they got traded him there.
Yeah. So going to wide receivers now, there's only one because we talked about Larry Fitz. Antonio Brown still hasn't been re-signed, and he showed last year. He
showed a little bit, but I do think it sounds like his asking price is a lot right now, and I do think his market is very small because I think it's probably the Buccaneers, and that's it. Because no one else wants to deal with that.
There's been talks about the Ravens.
Yeah, but that's been going on for since he's been released from the Raiders or the Patriots. That's been going on because, and all the connection is the Ravens need a receiver, and Antonio Brown would fill that hole of that number one receiver they need, but also because was it his cousin? Hollywood Brown? Yeah.
Marquise Brown's his cousin.
So, yep. That's been going on.
So, skipping line.
No, that was it.
So, we're going to skip line because there's no notable names. Going to defensive tackles. This one really surprised me. Geno Atkins still hasn't been signed.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure right now it's all it is asking price right now for these guys. So hopefully, they'll end up coming down. But so I don't know. Oh, another running back before we move on, was Le'Veon Bell is still available.
Le'Veon Bell hasn't been the same now since he left.
Yeah, but that's the same thing we've been saying about all the running backs. They haven't been the same.
Fair.
But
he should have never sat out.
They're all going to be complimentary backs to whoever they end up going to. So
okay, so I'm going to say 2 more names, and I'm done. Okay. 3 more names.
Okay.
So we got Jadeveon Clowney is still available. Ryan Kerrigan, and a very surprising one to me, Richard Sherman's still available. Oh, and Malik Hooker.
Malik was with the Colts, right?
Colts. He was their first-round draft pick in 2017. Very injury-prone.
Oh, that's probably why he's still available. But yeah,
But I'm surprised Ryan Kerrigan's still out there available. I know he's 32, but Ryan Kerrigan's always been a solid player.
Who does he play for?
He was for the Redskins.
Okay. No, Washington football team, but
oh, sorry.
Go Richard Sherman. That kind of surprises me a little bit. I know he obviously isn't as good as he was in Seattle, but
still, I mean, it's Richard Sherman, bro.
Yeah, I'm sure some team.
I mean,
I know
that would be one of those I would sign him just to tell people.
I know a couple months ago it was kind of big about maybe him going to New York, the Jets, and that's mainly because was the defensive coordinator from the 49ers is now the head coach.
I think so. That sounds right.
Or if he wasn't the defensive coordinator, he was one of the defensive coaches. So I know that was a big thing a couple months ago, but I haven't heard anything since then. So
yeah. So, well, if you guys have made it to the end of this podcast, I want to personally thank you. Again, we're super busy, guys. We're trying to get episodes out there, but we're both just oozer busy. We appreciate you guys' support so much, and you guys are honestly the big reason we do this. Yeah, we get to hang out, catch up, talk football, but you guys are the big reason we do this. Kyle, do you have anything else to add?
Nope, that is all I have. Yeah, that's all I have for today. Hopefully, like Logan was saying, hopefully we'll get on a better schedule of having people on and talking football. We're still planning on having Tanner Farmer on. Still trying to get that all worked out.
And just so our viewers know, there might be something special for you in the future. I'm going to talk with Kyle. We might get something special going on for you guys.
Yeah. I remember he mentioned it, and it would be kind of cool if it happens, but we will when it happens.
Cross that bridge when we get there.
When it gets around to it, you guys will hear it. So I hope you have
you guys have
all the listeners. I hope you have a great rest of the day and
or night.
Whenever time you're listening to this, if you're listening to our voices before you go to bed at night, I feel kind of bad for you, but
kudos to you guys. You're not going to get any sleep.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Kyle, as always, great to talk.